Today on Houston Life, feeling stressed? We know you are. You're not alone. We've got tips to help you manage it for National Stress Awareness Day.
Plus, learn more about the nonprofit helping find foster children a safe and loving home with their impactful heart galleries.
Then we're chatting with the local actress who is the breakout star of Apple TV Plus Invasion. Find out how this talented kid made it all the way to Hollywood.
And Art on the Avenue is Houston's ultimate buy local art experience. We're getting a sneak peek of this weekend's big event at Winter Street Studios. All that happening today on Houston Life.
Live from Studio B and KPRC 2. Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Houston Life. It is Wednesday, November 3rd. I'm Courtney Savala.
Halfway through the week. Hi, Courtney. Hi, everyone. I am Derek Shore. We do want to point out we are awaiting a special report from NBC with President Biden's remarks about COVID-19 vaccines for kids. That will happen any moment, and when it does, we will bring it to you live.
That's right. In the meantime, let's get to it because we are all feeling it today, drowning our sorrows with a little bit of wine after last night's big loss.
That was a tough one. That really was a tough one. I was just on the phone with my mom a bit ago. We're, of course, talking about Game 6, the Stros losing last night. My mom asked me, is Courtney doing okay? How is she doing?
Courtney's not. Courtney's sad. Everybody, my mom's sad, my uncle's sad, my dad's sad, the kids are sad. I wasn't ready to stop watching baseball. You know, it's such a big part of our lives, and we love the Astros and this team especially because it's going to dissolve. They're not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah.
And so I just really wanted it. Our director, Chris, said it yesterday. I just want some redemption, you know? And now all the headlines are back on to, you know, you can't run from the scandal. You can't do that. I mean, it's all of that. But you know what? They had a great season. Of course, we just were hoping for another game.
They had a phenomenal season for sure. We're wearing our black today in mourning, and I feel like many of us were putting our Astros gear maybe back into the corner of the closet. We'll have it back next year. We still have our Astros candles.
Yes.
We will pull those out again at some point, but they should be proud of a very phenomenal season.
Absolutely. We have our wine, and we're going to have more on that. Of course, today is Wednesday, Wine Club Wednesday, poured by HEB, so we'll have more on that coming up.
Okay, but first, why don't I change the subject so we can all just sort of distract ourselves from the Astros last night.
And
okay.
This is a good one.
Daylight saving time.
Not savings.
It's not a bank account.
No.
Saving time. I think a lot of us learned incorrectly.
We did.
It wasn't until I was an adult I discovered it's daylight saving time. So it's happening this Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 a.m.
Fall back.
Fall back. But here's the thing. So the spring is sort of a huge adjustment for people because you spring forward, you lose an hour.
I never recover.
Same. It's very stressful the Monday after the time change, right? Well, the fall can be a really tricky time for people as well, especially if you are a parent of young children, because regardless of that time change, you're not going to be sleeping an extra hour because your kids are probably going to pop out of bed like they slept in a toaster the night before, right?
Listen, their clock doesn't change. And so I remember when the boys were young, that was such a huge transition because you know, we as adults know, oh, the time says whatever. No, those babes, doesn't matter what time.
Yeah, your body is telling you one thing, the clock is telling you another. So the experts say you've got to start planning early. And I never even thought about this. If you start planning a week ahead or at least a few days ahead and maybe start modifying the times you're going to bed and then waking up, obviously avoiding caffeine and avoiding naps a few hours before bedtime because you want to be able to fall asleep early, right?
Yeah.
Or on time, rather, on the new time. You know what I mean,
here's
right?
the thing about I never have a problem falling back. It's springing forward. And then for like the next 10 days when that happens, Orlando always says to me, the old time or the new time? No, the time. What time is it? It drives me nuts.
The current time. Whatever the current time is.
Whatever this is.
So the experts may say start going to bed a little bit later as we fall back. With the Astros games this week, we've already been going to bed late enough. Hey, quick trivia.
Yeah.
Do you know when daylight saving time was first observed? When and where?
Oh, Indiana, Arizona.
In the States it was.
Yeah.
In the States. But it actually, 1916 in Germany. I do believe, though, we are about to go to the present with a special report. Stand by. Well, welcome back to Houston Life. Thanks so much for sticking with us through that special report. Now, I think after last night's Game 6, maybe it's time for a drink. And of course, a toast to our Astros, who, despite the loss last night, they didn't take the title, but they did have a phenomenal season.
Absolutely. Cheers to them.
Cheers to
Looking
Astros.
forward to spring training, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be right around the corner. So in today's Wine Club Wednesday, poured by HEB, we are tasting an Italian label known for its semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine.
That's right. Here's the bottle here right in front of us. This is Stella Rosa Red Reserve. It's made and imported from Italy. It's semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine, and it's slightly effervescent. So you're already tasting it here. So it has a little bit of kind of like a tingle to it, right? It's sweet, slightly, but definitely recommend that you serve this chilled. Don't just get it home and serve it. It's much better if you chill it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would be surprised, sorry to jump in, that it's a red wine that is sparkling and sweeter. If you've ever had a Lambrusco, this is sort of similar to a Lambrusco. You would agree?
I'd agree with you on that, especially with that effervescence. It's definitely different than like a Bubbles. It's not going to have that same kind of bubbly consistency, but it has that little bit of an effervescent. It's beautiful. Flavors are ripe raspberry, wild strawberry, and red plum. Pairings, they recommend Asiago cheese, spicy cioppino, the seafood soup, right? Turkey burgers with onions or strawberry shortcake, mixed berries. By the way, fun fact here as you're looking at the label, remember this. Go ahead and take a screenshot or write this down on your phone. This was actually reserve class champion of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for Uncorked.
Pretty bottle.
Yeah,
pretty
beautiful.
Hey, Kat, where's our stinky cheese?
We don't have anything.
We don't have cheese to go with this? What are you talking
we're
about?
drowning our sorrows.
It's true. It definitely is a sweeter wine, though. And as you said, you serve it chilled. It's a totally different experience than having a traditional glass of red if you like a Cab or a Pinot. It's completely different than that.
And this might be the way to open up. Like if you do like a sweeter white or even a sweeter rosé, this might be a beautiful place to start for a red wine for you, just to kind of dip your toes in. This bottle here is $15. Again, HEB Sweet Wine Sale is going on. It's only for 3 days, though. From November 5th through the 7th, you can score 10% off all sweet wines and ready-to-drinks.
Well, there you have it. If you like sweet wine as much as there you go. I know.
Perfect.
I know. We've heard it a million times, Moira Rose. All right, well, cheers to Wine Club Wednesday. And if you would like to join our Houston Life Wine Club poured by HEB, just visit our website to register. You'll also have access to exclusive giveaways, even a chance to be part of virtual tastings right here on the show with the two of us.
With us right here.
Yeah.
As a reminder, you can find today's featured wine at your local HEB.
All right. Cheers once
Cheers.
again to the Stros. Still to come on Houston Life, we will meet the 8-year-old local actor who landed a role on an out-of-this-world streaming series, find out how she made it in Hollywood, and also how she's giving back to the community at such a young age.
And after the break, Under Pressure, Dr. Shayna D. Lewis will share. She's going to be joining us. There she is with some helpful ways to manage stress. We all need that when Houston Life returns. Okay, I'm listening to what I am saying. I'm taking this in. We should all pause and take a deep breath going into this next interview. That's because today is National Stress Awareness Day.
I'm glad we have this day. They say Wednesday is the most stressful day of the week, so today is perfect. Here to help us manage those feelings and emotions, licensed professional counselor, Dr. Shayna D. Lewis. Welcome to the show. And my goodness, why is Wednesday the most stressful day of the week, Dr. Lewis?
You know, my thought is it's hump day, right? You're right in the middle. You've done half of the things, but you got the other half of the week to go, and you're thinking about it, right? Yeah. Wednesday's hump day is very stressful.
I can see it. It all kind of piles up for me. What I need to do yet still in the rest of the week, it's kind of how my brain works. Let's just talk about stress, because I feel over the last, 18, 19 months, that word stress has meant or felt different to a lot of people. And the stress triggers are what? Money, relationships. What else triggers stress?
All of those things, the pandemic, work. If you look at the top 2 stressors that Americans have, it's work and money. We can just put those on the table and then add everything else: children, finances, the pandemic, all of the other things, the responsibilities that we have. We are stressed from every angle, every single one.
And there are different types of stress, Dr. Lewis. So something I've never heard of is eustress, EU stress, and distress. Describe to us the difference between the two.
They are different. So eustress is stress that when we experience it, it actually allows us to have a growth opportunity. Usually it's equated with things that are positive. So think a wedding, a baby being born. These are things that we want to have happen, but they are still stressful because anything that taxes us emotionally, psychologically, or physically is a stressor. Now, distress is stress that doesn't usually have a quick resolve, and it may have some negative impacts. That might be a death of a loved one, that may be a loss of a job or financial stressors. So they definitely both tax us, but the outcome is slightly different at the end.
That is great to point out. We should also point out that stress isn't an adult-only thing, right?
No. Our kids, I am begging all parents to talk to your kids. They are stressed out. I've recently had a conversation with a group of teenagers, and they are stressed about school. They are stressed about relationships. They are stressed about this pandemic. They are stressed with all kinds of things, and their stress shows up just like it does for us. So please don't negate their experience. It is absolutely important.
That is such a critical point. Dr. Lewis, let's talk about the impacts of stress on the mind and body, because a lot of people might think it's just in the brain, but it can have serious health consequences for our physical bodies.
So let's just say this: stress kills. Now that may seem like a really tough statement to make, but it is true. Because not only is it the #1 cause or a great predictor of us being depressed, of us having high anxiety on the mental health side, but it can reduce our immune system. It can create gastrointestinal issues. It actually shrinks our brain. It affects our memory and focus. It actually changes the way our brain actually is structured. It can create your stomach aches and ulcers and all of these things that we feel, and muscle aches and fatigue. Stress has an extreme impact on our mind and our body, both, and it can kill if we don't address it.
Okay, we talked about the triggers, who it affects. Let's talk about things that we can do to address stress in our life. This is my favorite part of our conversation. You always have a fun acronym for us.
Yes, I do. So I am huge about folks managing their stress. And I have a thought about saucer life, where we are able to fill our cups so we can serve from our saucer. So that S is creating a self-care or wellness plan. If you don't have a plan for your self-care or for your wellness, you're making a mistake. Just like you have a plan for your budget or retirement, you need a self-care wellness plan. That A is going to be asking for help. You can't do everything by yourself. So many of us are stressed because we're trying to do it alone. Delegate some things. Ask someone to help you. That you understand that your wellness is your responsibility. Now, I know we're all in the same world. We're in a pandemic. We're in all of these different crises that are happening, and it's easy to point fingers or blame other people for what's going wrong with us. But it is your responsibility to do something about it. And that C is my favorite. Control the controllables. I say this often. Many of us spend a lot of energy trying to control things that we can't. That makes us more stressed. So I encourage you to survey the things happening, identify what you can control, and focus there. Everything else, release it, give it away. Stop stressing about that. And then E is engage in gratitude. When we create an attitude of gratitude, even in the midst of a crisis, we absolutely can change our moods, how we feel, and even our physical experiences. So be thankful every single day, and it absolutely will help reduce your stress. And then here's my other favorite, is rest. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I know grown folks are saying, Dr. Lewis, I ain't tired, or I'm up, I got stuff to do. I get it. Our bodies need to relax, reset, and rejuvenate. Make sure you get adequate sleep. It will absolutely help reduce your stress.
Sleep well, eat well. Everything seems more stressful when we're tired and hungry. Dr. Lewis, always great advice, asking for help. And remember, we all experience it, right? So if you're feeling alone, you are not alone out there.
You are not. And text SAUCER to 33777 for more wellness tips. I'm here to help.
I'm going to end it with an amen. You're always great, Dr. Lewis. It's wonderful to see you. By the way, there's that text information. Text saucer to 33777. They're on the screen. And for more information and wellness tips as well. Still ahead, we're going to introduce you to the local actress who at just 8 years old is the breakout star of the sci-fi drama series Invasion.
This really is incredible. You don't want to miss it. Also, we'll get a check of our forecast with Frank. That's when Houston Life returns right after this.
Ooh, it's coming. Well, welcome back to Houston Live. Courtney and Derek back with you on this Wednesday.
Yeah, why don't we check in with Mr. Frank Billingsley, who has a look at the forecast. It was such a beautiful day earlier, Frank. What happened?
It was perfect. Yeah, it was beautiful and nice and comfortable. And then things just went downhill from there. We told you it was going to be a messy afternoon commute, and that certainly is the case. This is the North Freeway at Spring Cypress, and you can see the wet roads. In fact, you just follow the freeways and you'll find them. If you go way out I-10 to San Antonio, it's actually an aerial flood advisory. We don't have that, but there are a couple of pretty strong pops I'm going to show you around the area, especially where you see the red here. This is the brunt of this front that's moving through. Behind it, a lot of lingering showers. So I don't think this is going away anytime soon. You can see there's that red right up there around the Beltway, heading toward I-45 and Hardy Toll Road, right off toward 59. So that's one of the heavier showers. Also moving along the Katy Freeway, that's a bit of a mess. Down 59, this into Sugar Land, that's been messy and continues to be. And then this is one of the stronger storms coming through with lightning, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. It's moving east at 25 to 30 miles an hour. So it's on the move. You're seeing a little bit of that in Manville already, but it is right over 288 as we speak, just south of Highway 6. So that, I can promise you, is a slowdown on 288 for sure. And then down here in Bay City, you have showers and thunderstorms coming through there. All of this is going to move toward the coast fairly quickly, but again, the showers behind it. This is the rain amounts where you see the green, 1, 2, almost 3 inches of rain up toward Huntsville. Pretty easy in the blue to find a ½ inch to an inch, and we've been forecasting 1 to 2. It looks like that's what we're going to see widespread across the area. So the futurecast continues to pull these showers toward the coast by 7:30, maybe even a little faster. They're on the move, but behind it, you'll notice the showers are still here all evening long. They don't really begin to thin out until we get to midnight and overnight. And then tomorrow, 20% chance of a lingering shower, and honestly, that's about it. So at 4 o'clock, we'll talk more about how long we're going to need those umbrellas and the jackets. I have temperatures dropping into the 40s. It's going to be crisp this weekend, to say the least. We'll have those numbers for you coming up. Derek, Courtney.
All right, Frank, we'll see you then. We will keep those umbrellas handy as well.
We're dusting off the Uggs as well.
Okay.
Thanks, Frank. Well, Invasion is a new sci-fi drama on Apple TV Plus that has turned local actress Tara Moaity into a rising star.
Yeah, but acting is only one of her many talents. She joins us now so we can get to know her. Tara, welcome to Houston Life. It's so nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm so happy to be here today.
Listen, we are so happy to have you here. You're 8 years old now, and I understand at 6 years old, your zest for life sort of caught the eye of an instructor who said, you know what, you should be on TV. And this role of Sarah in Invasion, that was the very first role you auditioned for. Is that true?
Yeah, that is really the true, like the first one. The first audition, yeah.
That is it. And what do you think it is about you that made you right for this role? Because reading about your story, you were born in New Orleans, but you've lived in Houston for a few years now, and you also speak English, French, and Persian. So you got a lot of skills going on there.
Yeah.
What do you think did it for you? Have you always wanted to be, you know, on screen or an actress?
Yeah, I've always been comfortable in front of camera because I've also been doing modeling. So I've always been in front of camera. Yeah, I am comfortable.
It sounds like a pretty intense storyline. Look at all of these beautiful shots of you we're running on the screen right now. So let's talk about the show a little bit.
My teacher encouraged me, like she was the first one who inspired me to start acting because she always used to say that I have a special talent and personality that's awesome for acting. So she told my parents, and then my parents and I decided to give it a shot. We tried it out, and guess what? It turned out to be that I was successful.
Well, I mean, and that was not by chance. That was not luck. Clearly, you are a talented young woman. This show sounds pretty intense. So essentially, break it down for us. There's this massive alien invasion on planet Earth. What was it like to shoot this series?
It was incredible, but I met a lot of literally professional casts and crews, worked with a lot of very famous directors and producers, and also we didn't see any aliens like in front of us. We had to visualize it. We had to imagine it. That we said something scary, and it was not like any other typical like sci-fi drama thing. It was a drama set against the backdrop of aliens, but it wasn't really focusing on the aliens either. It was focusing on how the humans react to the aliens. So it shows the life of 5 ordinary people, and their life keeps getting more and more complicated as the aliens they keep invading the earth more and more.
It's fascinating to me that, of course, you know, the special effects, and that's part of acting, right? So whether you're comfortable in front of the screen is one thing, but then visualizing and have to know that alien and those other scenes are going to come in later. I mean, that's a whole different role as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it like for you when, I mean, as Courtney just said, you had to use your imagination a lot during the shooting of this because the aliens weren't really there. They were added later in post-production. When you first saw this all come together, when the series started airing, what was that like for you?
It was pretty interesting because then I know what all of the hard work paid off to. Like, I understand, like, some of the challenging days that they reward off, and now I understand how hard I worked.
It's really fantastic, and you're so good in this role. Okay, let's talk about real life, Tara, because we know you love to play the piano and violin. You're a competitive swimmer in your downtime. I'm not sure how much downtime you have these days, but you also love to travel. Talk to me a little bit about that.
True, yeah. I've been to 14 countries and 25 states in the U.S. And I love traveling because I can understand different cultures and like what they eat, what they wear. I can understand their language. I can understand how they feel with their culture. So it's pretty cool traveling to different places.
Well, Tara Moaity, we are so glad to know you, and I know you have an exciting life ahead. Congrats on Invasion.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you again very soon. Can't wait to see what's happening next. Also, Invasion is available to stream right now on Apple TV Plus with new episodes out every Friday. And if you would like to connect with Tara, you can head to our website, HoustonLife.tv.
All right, let's now check in with Lauren Kelly, who has a way for you to check out nearly 500 original works of local art. Hey, Lauren.
You guys, I just stepped into Winter Street Studios, and this place is covered from wall to wall with all these beautiful paintings from local artists. There's a 3-day event to follow, and I'm going to tell you all about it. It's happening this weekend. Details are coming up next when Houston Life returns. Well, Art on the Avenue is happening this weekend right here at Winter Street Studios. And I'm telling you, you step in and you feel immersed into all of this art that is surrounding us all over. It is Houston's ultimate buy local art experience. And not a better person than to chat with us from Avenue. This is Darla Berry. She's going to give us all the event details. It is now in its 24th year, spans 3 days. Let's break those days down.
That's right. Tomorrow night, we're going to kick off the event at 6 p.m. with our preview party, which offers sort of a sneak peek at all this wonderful art by local Houston artists. And we will have Light Bites by Alice Blue, of course, adult beverages, and live music by Virtuosi of Houston, which is our city's premier youth orchestra.
Those are all 3 things that you can get me in. You've got the music, the entertainment, the light bites, and the cocktails as well. And that's just for tomorrow night, then Friday.
On Friday, we will have a party starting at 6 p.m. And we're also having a new element this year called Brews on the Avenue, featuring local craft brew, who doesn't love that, to go along with the local art. And it's going to be amazing. You've got to come see this show.
And then Saturday, you said there was something free and for the children.
That's right. Saturday, it's free and open to the public. So we welcome all families, anyone from Houston, come see the show. At noon, we will have our opening for our student art exhibition. We have 40 students participating this year.
Well, Darla, thank you so much for the info.
Thank you.
We're excited. I'm going to put all the event details online at HoustonLife.tv. But while we're looking at this beautiful art, I want to talk to one of the artists here. This is Marlo Saucedo, and we're standing in front of your piece. That's magnificent.
Thank you so much.
Now, you are a returning artist, but I want you to kind of tell our viewers what this piece means.
Absolutely. So I work in words. So everything that you're seeing is actually the story of the Alyssa, which is the Galveston tall ship.
Now, I don't know if our viewers can kind of zoom in, but everything you see on here is words, right? How did you even write that small?
7th grade note passing.
Well, okay, fair enough, but your handwriting is so good. But on the back of this piece, you also have a Word document for people to read it along with as well, right?
Always.
That is so fun. Well, congratulations on your beautiful pieces. We know that there are a bunch around town, and we can't wait to see them this weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys, for more info on this beautiful Art on the Avenue art experience happening this weekend, just log on to HoustonLife.tv. Don't go anywhere. Houston Life is back in just 2 minutes.
Coming up tomorrow on Houston Life, find out how you can support a good cause while taking part in Fat Eatery's Hot and Spicy Noodle Soup Challenge, also known as Laksa.
That's interesting. And celebrating Diwali, we're going to be joined by a Sugarland couple who will explain all the traditions and customs of this popular festival of lights and how the local community can participate with family and friends. It's about food, colors. It's so amazing. If you haven't been part of it, you definitely have to.
It is beautiful. A must visit. A must visit. All right. Well, I think that does it for our show today.
That's right. On this Wednesday, we'll see you back here tomorrow for Friday Eve, but the weather is here. We understand we need to dust off our Uggs.
It's pouring outside.
Keith and Christine.
Yeah, not just the Uggs, umbrellas for sure.
And the rain
boots. Yeah, you got to get the
Dust off the
Uggs that have
kayak.
like the lining. Yeah, very good.